The entire Indian wisdom tradition comes down to ending separation and living in unity consciousness. It isn't that unity is a prize held out after a lifetime of arduous practice. Instead, unity is the ground state of existence from which we have become separated. Returning to the ground state, or being authentic, must involve a natural way of life that keeps the body-mind in balance while also evolving. In other words, the development of the domain of consciousness, of the world in here, is all important. No system of alternative medicine can be expected to achieve unity consciousness. It is closer to the truth to use the Sanskrit term upaveda, where Veda means the teaching about reality, and upa means close to or near. And upaveda isn't pure spiritual teaching, but an adjunct or helper that's close to the pure teaching. In the West, this seems like a dubious role for medicine, because scientific medicine is essentially the equivalent of taking a car to a mechanic to have it repaired. In fact, the mechanistic approach taught in medical school is worn as a badge of honor. A good doctor ignores the changing, untrustworthy world of a patient's inner feelings, thoughts, habits, inclinations, or anything else that is considered subjective. Even psychiatry, which is the one specialty that crosses the boundary into a patient's inner world, has become largely a matter of matching symptoms with the appropriate drug, all the time knowing that drug treatments are rarely, if ever, a cure for the underlying mental disorder. When they aren't visiting the doctor, people in everyday life spend very little time examining the lifestyle they grew up with, much less aiming for the Ayurvedic ideal, which is to be aware of shifting conditions and mind and body on a daily basis. Such awareness, in the sense of mindfulness, isn't the same as being anxious about what you're eating and how you feel. Taking the upa part of upaveda seriously, the routine you follow every day and every season of the year is a helper in achieving a higher state of well-being on all fronts. Coming to the focus of this book, Western medicine has been undergoing its own quiet revolution with the rise of chronobiology, the study of how time affects the physiology in gross and subtle ways. As mounting evidence has proven, timing is everything inside the body. Every process in trillions of cells is regulated by an internal clock, one that turns out to be very similar to the one described in the Vedic texts. In fact, the critical importance of daily circadian rhythm may prove to be the link between ancient Ayurvedic practices and alleviating the modern epidemic of chronic diseases. In 2017, 3 research physiologists won the Nobel Prize for their 4 decades of work unraveling the mysteries of the circadian rhythm in biology. They found that the diurnal rhythm of nature affects the functioning of cells in plants, animals, humans, and even some single-cell bacteria. Specific genes change the function of cells based on the time of day. While this may seem like an esoteric set of discoveries, the new field of chronobiology has practical applications that have revolutionary implications for the future of wellness. It is well established by now that lifestyle choices can change the expression of our DNA. But what we have been learning recently is that it's not enough to eat well, exercise a few times a week, and get sound sleep. As Ayurveda has taught for centuries, you must know which daily schedule works with your physiology and not against it. This realization is what makes Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life such a valuable addition to the growing awareness of Ayurveda in the West. Despite all the best prevention advice, none of it disputed, millions of people routinely work too many hours and sleep irregularly with their cell phones next to their beds. They eat in a rush, even when not indulging in the national craving for fast food. Time sickness creeps into their daily activity, by which is meant living with one eye on the clock, constantly aware of deadlines and an overloaded list of duties and demands. These unrealistic lifestyle expectations have become something acceptable, but new medical research is undermining